morning, good morning, good morning. It is 20 minutes after 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm coming in from the Chicagoland area, south suburbs, and I happened to fall asleep early enough last night to where I'm up now. I've been up since 2. And so I grabbed my phone, of course, because it was there. And I wanted to share something that I saw. I was checking my email since I was up. And I happened to get an email from the, what is it called? The neighborhood app. So, of course, everybody, in your neighborhood, things that's local to you and things like that, you could check it out on the neighborhood app that's in your neighborhood. So I came across I came across something that was posted in the general section of the neighborhood app. So of course it's in our community. And it's about the skating rink that is in the area. So this skating rink, it's the skating rink been there forever. Let's just say that, right? We used to go to this skating rink when we were teenagers. Okay. So I'm going to read it. I'm not going to say her name, but apparently she's the owner of the skating rink. So it reads, and I was trying to log in to my neighborhood app on here so that I could share it on the screen, but it's not. For some reason, I don't know what's going on. It's not letting me go in. So I'm reading it from my phone. So as you can see the picture, right? You see it. They say tear it down. So this is Rich City Skate. All right. Look, I went to the skating rink when I was a teenager. My mother was a skater. So she was at all the skating rinks, Rich City, Markham, just whichever ones was open, she was there. Right. So it reads, tear it down. No, they say tear it down. I started not to say anything, but here goes. On Saturday, July 17th, the Cook County Sheriff's Department served us with a lawsuit from the village of Richton Park. They want us to tear down the skating rink, Rich City Skate, on Sauk Trail because they deemed it to be unsafe. They gave us 15 days. Okay, move that out the way. They gave us 15 days to repair it or else. In case you weren't aware, we closed the rink because property taxes were crazy high at $96,000 a year. Just maybe there's a better use for it, like our children. This is what it says here. Despite numerous requests for help from the village and others to help save the rink, the community lost the one and only place the children had to go within a 10-mile radius. Being nominated for an Emmy in 2020 for the United Skates documentary didn't matter either. Yeah, Tamara, you already know, right? You grew up around here, went to the rich township high schools, all of that. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure you skated at the skating rink too. So now this, and it says, give me strength to weather the storm. So then there's 94 comments in here about it. But the one comment that I wanted to read was very, very, very important. And it's very important for us as a people in a community to understand. Exactly. They don't want us to have nothing, because you already know, if you lived out in this area in the 70s or even the 80s, there was everything out here. But then you also know that there was a few number of us out here too. And the more we started to migrate to this area, the more things that were here started to shut down. And you usually hear, well, the things shut down in our community because we don't like we don't patronize it, or we don't spend our money in it and all that. And that is untrue. And this is the reason why I say that, because I don't care what race, nationality, creed, sex, caste, or color you are. Everybody likes convenience. Everybody. I'm sure, right? I'm sure. And I remember when we moved out here, you see about 2 or 3 melanated families moving in the area. They're moving out, putting up for sale signs, everything. And that's what happened. I mean, when we moved out here in, I think it was 1987, we started seeing moving trucks. It seemed like every other weekend they were moving out because we were moving in. And then, we had the, it's no different. It's no different, no matter where, no matter what state we live in or neighborhood, whatever, wherever we are, where we move to, that starts to happen. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And so I'm going to read this comment, because I don't want it to, there's a lot of opinions in here, a lot of, emotionally charged comments, things like that. But I wanted to read the comment that just put everything plain, right? The facts, things that could be documented. All right. And that really matters. So there's a gentleman that commented, and he said, tax breaks. He said, everyone in this thread is missing the tricky games that are going on in Rich Township with tax increment financing districts, the 227 school district tax levy, and the 227 school board's financially illiterate decision to offer tax breaks. Now, this is me interjecting, because everything revolves around the taxes, right? Taxes are huge, huge. And when we don't understand money, when we don't understand finances, when we don't understand taxes, then all we have are these emotional responses. But we have to understand taxes. I don't care how much money we make. If we don't understand taxes and how to work with the taxes, not tax evasion, but there's a way to do things, but we have to understand taxes. Okay. This is why people, we get into like say entertainment, for instance, and then, okay, start making a lot of money. And next thing you know, people are in trouble with their taxes. They didn't understand money. You got a whole lot of money and still trying to with the same mindset and no financial literacy. Then you end up in jail for, tax evasion or whatever. And even Joshua talked about that in the scriptures. When they were asking him about taxes, it was a reason why they were asking about that. And that's what he said, well, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. He said, whose inscription is on that piece of coin or whatever you got? They're like, Caesar. He said, okay, give him the money. He want taxes, give it to him. Give it to him. And they're like, huh? Give it to him. It's like, because what's really, really important, when he's like, you missing the whole picture. What's really important is, what you really, the thing that you need to be focused on, which is your spirit. So we want to get this money issue out the way, because that is what was going on. People were sick and all of this kind of stuff because of money, taxes, all of that. And so they were worried about those things. And he's like, no, let's get this out the way so you could really be focused on what really matters, which is your spiritual connection, your spiritual bond. I don't even like saying connection when it comes to spirit, because things could be connected and then disconnected, right? So your spiritual bond here. And so we don't need you worried about money, but you need to know how money works. When you really, really study the Bible, first of all, all of it is a repeat and it's a pattern. And when we really go in there and read it for ourselves in order to see, I always teach my children this, we homeschoolers, who, what, when, where, why, and how. When you can answer those questions for whatever it is that you're doing and looking at, reading, you'll really know what to do. So that's the problem that they had back then. Okay. That's the same thing that's going on right now. All right. But we need to get money out the way, but we also need to know about it. We also need to understand how it works. And we also have to understand that taxes is a part of it. Okay. So this person is talking about taxes, and it's the reason why I chose this comment to talk about. To read. So he says, so let me break it down so everyone can understand why standalone small businesses will never survive in Rich Township. But they will never survive anywhere. So it's not just about this particular, village. This is across the board. Apply it to where you live. 1, School District 227 averages a $70 million yearly budget and gets very little state funding. So they charge homeowners and businesses $50 million a year to run the schools. That means tax bills are outrageous based on a building's equalized assessed value. 2, big businesses such as Walmart, in which, we have one in Richton Park and Olympia Fields, are like, no way. We would do business in Rich Township, but we are not paying the outrageous tax bill. You will pay the tax bill. Okay. 3, so Richton Park and Olympia Fields scrambled to create a tax increment financing district. The tax increment financing district is supposed, he put this in all caps, supposed to collect property taxes to be used for economic development to enhance blighted areas. However, Richton Park and Olympia Fields have created the tax increment financing district to collect the property taxes, which is then refunded back to Walmart. I hope you're following. Since Walmart has been in Richton Park, they have received an $8.8 million tax break. The property taxes average around $2.4 million a year. The property taxes flow into the tax increment financing district, Richton Park, Lakewood, TIF. Walmart pays the tax bill. Richton Park then turns around and pays Walmart back out of the TIF revenue funds. Number 5. The enclosed 2017 tax bill shows in detail how the schools get virtually nothing from the Richton Park Walmart tax bill, and all the money flows into TIF Richton Park Lakewood. Basically, legal stealing. And then there's a link that shows this document. We just want to know what they say. There's the saying that goes, documentation beats conversation. Like we could talk back and forth, argue, debate, all of that. What is documented is what matters. Okay. So he posted it. There's a link. I wish I could pull it up on my computer, but for whatever reason, neighborhood won't come up on my laptop. So I got to read it from my phone. So number 6, small businesses don't get these type of tax breaks. Let me read that again. Small businesses do not get these type of tax breaks. They must pay full price. So they close or leave Rich Township. Apply that to where you live, wherever you live. Number 7, the Tinley Park Convention Center and hotel complex is actually in the boundaries of Rich Township, which pays taxes into School District 227. The 227 and 159 school board provided a $4 million tax break to the Tinley Park Convention Center and hotel complex, which led to the creation of a refurbished hotel. Then there's a link to that of the Chicago Tribune Daily Southtown newspaper article. Then it says, see what a tax break can do. Then there's another link to a newspaper article. So number 8, Randy Alexander tried to save Rich City Skate by running for 227 school board president, winning the school board president seat, and then attempting to use the 227 lawyers to get a tax abatement for Rich City Skate. That plan was snuffed out by Cheryl Coleman on the school board, who was then instrumental in removing Randy Alexander from the 227 school board presidency seat. This would be an epic short film. In any event, big businesses win, small businesses lose. Southland College Prep will expand. That's a charter school that's out here. It's actually next door to Rich City Skate. It will be tough for small businesses to survive in Rich Township with outrageous tax bills. No one screams about what has gone on and is going on in Rich Township, with the villages stealing all the tax dollars. So prepare to drive elsewhere for entertainment. Then it says, hey, it's a link, Up Your Alley bowling alley is nice in Schererville, Indiana, with plenty of security from Schererville Police and Lake County, Indiana sheriffs. Who to blame? Of all the village presidents in Rich Township. So then there's a comment after that. An epic story. Our community in a nutshell. You just can't make this stuff up. Thank you for telling it like it is. Small businesses lose. Shame on us. So now, oh boy. Okay, here we go. Let's do something here. Let us doom. Okay, so here we go. Because we have a problem. We have the why, the who, what, when, where, and why to the problem. And then there's a solution, right? There's the solution. Of course, many people were given solutions. Hey, turn it into a this, do a non-for-profit, and then raise funds, and all of that. But the real solution is the people in the community, right? The people in the community, because we are collectively what makes up the community. And we are the ones that are frequenting the businesses. We're spending our money in said businesses and all of these things. Now, but the people in the community also has a money problem, right? Why? Because it doesn't matter about your job or the salary or whatever. It doesn't matter if you're low income, if you're high income. And when I say high income, if you are not at $500,000 a year, right? $500,000 annually and more, you're in that middle income tax bracket, which is the highest. And then there's the low income tax bracket, which means you're low income and, you could probably get some help and services or whatever. But then there's a thing that happens where you don't go above that, because then you'll lose your services or whatever, right? Just one penny over. So either way, you're capped, right? You're capped. And then there's the schools that come into play that teach you, condition you to live in that type of world and to continue to create that type of world and continue to and continue that on by teaching that to your children. And it's not that you are teaching it to your children, but you're putting them in the schools that conditions their minds that way. And then you are the one, as the parent, that will say, hey, make sure that you are, that as because then they're your children. Hey, you're not doing good in school because you're not getting these grades or that grades. And the only way that you're getting those grades is if you are agreeing with that conditioning. I know it sounds crazy to you of what I'm saying, but that is really, truly how that works, right? So now you have us as the middle, we're middle age, right? We're in our 40s and 50s, and right, which means that we have teenagers that we have in school, and even the younger ones, we have them there too, and teaching them the same thing. So if you have not read this book that has been around for the past 21 years, because I bought it 21 years ago when he started coming out. I mean, he had been around, but so when he put his books out, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? That's like the entrepreneur's prerequisite book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When I heard about that book, when I was about 25, which was 21 years ago, I went to purchase that book. And when I went to purchase that book, I saw Rich Kid, Smart Kid. I said, and by me having children, I had three, single parent, three children at the time who were probably, they were about 10 and 12 years old. I know you heard me say three children and then give two ages. That's because I have twins. And then the other one, which was my son, my eldest son. So they were 10 and 12 years old at the time. So I figured, let me buy Rich Kid, Smart Kid first. And I'm going to read this book with my children, because as I'm learning this, they need to learn it as well. That's how my mind worked at that time. And it still does. I'm going to tell you why. So that's when I got an eye opener, right? And I was able to agree with everything that he was talking about in that book. We are conditioned to, go to school, get good grades, get your diploma and get your degree so that you can get a good job, get a good high paying job. Well, how about that system? Now, you're talking about, I bought that book in 1999, 2000, right? Do you know that system went out in 1971? In 1971, that was over. But here it is, 20 to 40 years later, we're still doing that. But that system was over in 1971. We are 20 to 40 years behind the 8 ball. And these things are being echoed, just like in the scriptures. It says, wisdom cries in the streets and nobody's listening. Or very few are listening. But wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation. We say that. It sounds good, rolling off the tongue, as a scripture to quote. But when it comes to the application of it, it is not being done by the very people who would have that coming out of their mouths, because they don't know exactly where to apply that. We always say knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power. We say it's power in the scriptures. When you apply it, it works. Wealthy people, I didn't say rich, I said wealthy. The reason why they are wealthy is because the same scriptures that many people quote, which is really laws, is laws. The first 5 books of the Bible are laws. You can look at those first 5 books and read them, and they are laws. And then you go into the Black's Law Dictionary and the law books, and it's the same. It's the same because it's laws. It's not philosophy. It's not vain philosophy or the rudiments of this world or men's tradition. It's laws. And so when we adhere to it, we benefit. When we don't, we do not benefit. It's really that simple, right? We don't benefit. And so wealthy people follow principles, in which principles are laws. And this is the reason why they are wealthy. Period. Ain't no way to shake it. Ain't no way around it or anything. It's not. And again, there's a difference between rich and wealthy. We can all have a whole lot of money, a lot. And there's many people that do. But there is a certain set of principles, laws, code of ethics that wealthy people follow. And that is the reason why they can plan out 40 years ahead. 40, right? They have legacy plans. And legacy plans is when you plan out 40 years down the road. Because what does the scripture say? It say, leave an inheritance to your children's children, but your children's children are your grandchildren. They're your grandchildren, right? So that's 2 generations. That's 2. Okay? 2 generations. When you understand that a generation is about 20 to 21 years, then when you leave an inheritance to your children's children, that means that you have planned for 42 years ahead. 1 generation is 21 years. Another generation is another 21 years. 21 and 21 is 42. And we planning for a weekend. Maybe 10. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? No, where do I see my grandchildren in 40 years? And then how would I teach them to plan for another 40 years? And when we do get the money, because there's a lot of it out here, Tamara knows exactly, right? Forex, we're both in this industry. It's a $7.3 trillion industry, might as well say $8 trillion industry, right? And there's what? 7 billion people on the earth, man, woman, and child. What does that mean? That means that man, woman, and child, 7 billion people on the earth has access to $1,000 per day. $1,000 per day. So then think about how many people are in your household. And then do $1,000 for each of them. But that's per day. So then do 30 days. What's that number? That's how much your household, let's say, needs, right? But then there's something that you have to do with it. And you have to understand taxes. Because when you're in that kind of money, you better understand taxes, right? Because when you're born, when you take your first breath, you're taxed. After you die, you're taxed. What do you mean after you die, you're taxed? You have to file your taxes after you die. You dead. How you filing taxes? No, the people who you have left behind have to file taxes on you or in your behalf one more time. So you got to understand taxes. Yeah, got to understand that that's the largest bill you will ever have. It's taxes. So then you have to know how to minimize your taxes, not evade them. You can avoid high taxes. It's legal. It's legal to avoid high taxes, but it is illegal to evade taxes. That's why Yahshua was like, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. They like, should we pay taxes? Do we got to pay taxes? He like, yeah. He didn't come to break the law. He didn't come to break the law at all. What he came to do was fulfill it. Fulfill the obligation. But you got to be wealthy in order to do it. He owned the freaking universe. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is mine. Everything. I'm walking around in what I created. Period. And it's these laws and whatever, and we're going to fulfill them But what we don't want is people who are in these higher positions in government that is doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. That's who Joshua had beef with, because he was putting burden on the people. And so that's what I'm reading this for. That's what this was about. And it's putting, again, burden on the people, a huge tax burden where they heavily taxed. And so you'll never stop working because you're heavily taxed. And then you put your children through it, and then they're heavily taxed. And we keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So how do we resolve this? Well, number one, there's this Forex market. Yes, you're going to hear me talk about it to no end. Why? Because that's where all the money is. It's there. So in our academy, that's what we teach. We teach you how to go fishing, basically, in this market. It's It's an $8 trillion market. It's an $8 trillion market. That's where all the money is. That's where the bank, look, when you go to the bank and you put your money in the bank, and you know that there are fees and overdraft fees and this fee and that fee and this charge and that charge. So you're being charged and all of this on the money that you're putting in the bank. And if you have this balance, you have to have this balance in there, or you'll be charged this, that, and the other in the bank. And in that same bank where everybody is putting their money into is taking your money and trading it in the Forex market. They're making trillions of dollars with your money. So why not you? Why not you? Why not trade along with the banks that's trading your money in the first place? In a global market, we're talking about foreign exchange, a global market. That's what Forex stands for, foreign exchange, Forex. It's a global market. So we talking about money across the globe, global, right? Money across the globe, okay? That you can do at home from your cell phone, wherever you are. And it's a home-based business. So it's an academy where you're learning, and it's a home-based business. So now you're able to deduct tax deductions, okay? Tax deductions on, first of all, the things that you utilize every single day in your household, your cell phone, and you are able to take a on the tax deductions on your learning. As you're learning how to fish in the global market, where, like I said, do the numbers for your household, $1,000 per head per day. And you could at least start off with that number, because we want you to have a number so that we can give you a plan, so that when you learn this skill set, now you know what you're going in there fishing for. And at an hour a day. And then you have the rest of your day. You have bought your time back. Now you have financial solutions that you can tap into, where you're building your credit. You're restoring the credit if it's messed up. You're rebuilding the credit in order to qualify for business credit, and then tap into the business funding for your business. So then that's how you can save your household, because you're part of the community, and the businesses that's in your community that you want to stay. You can even help to save the small businesses by doing the same thing here and showing them how they can do it. And it can be done. She said there's what, $96,000 per year for the property taxes, right? $96,000 per year. Well, guess what? Our founder and many people that's over here, we already have a documented 7-figure trading student. She's a student, right? In 6 months, she's at 7 figures trading. Documented. We have a 6-figure trader already in 6 months, documented, right? One of the founders of our academy, $100,000 per month. She talking about a $96,000 annual tax bill. She could pay that in a month. She could pay it. She could pay it in a month. But how do we get this information out? How do we get this information out to the masses? Or at least underground masses. I'll put it that way, right? At least underground masses, right? So this is already done, right? I'm just saying that this is already done. And it's a matter of, do people seize the opportunity to save themselves, and which saves the community, or not? Because this is what's going on in our communities, period. And we can sit here and we can complain about, oh, this is what happens. It always happens to us, yada, yada. And then we can move into another community or whatever. But trust me when I say, as soon as 3 melanated families move into the community, they're moving out. And then next thing you know, the stores will be gone and all of that. And not because we're not frequenting the stores, but with big businesses, okay? With big businesses, what they start to do is what? Not have certain things within that store that we go to buy things, not have certain things within that store. They start to not keep the store well. They start to raise the prices. And it's like they're raising prices on stuff in here, and they don't even have the stuff that we want in here. So then that forces us to go outside of the community that we live in, where we're paying tax dollars. Forces us to go outside of the community that we live in to go into the other communities and spend our money there. And then we steadily see new things being built and restaurants and all of that stuff in their communities, while ours are dwindling because we're forced to take our money from out of our communities to their communities to spend it over there. And that's how that happens. Because here's the thing. If there's a Walmart, we're just going to say Walmart. If there's a Walmart 5 minutes up the street from you, okay, and then a Walmart about 20 minutes away, but the Walmart in your area is unkept, it doesn't have what it is that you would like to buy from there, and what else? We say it is unkept, and the prices are high. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna try to find what you came to buy, and it's like, right? Now you're frustrated, and then you hop in your car, and then you go to the other Walmart that they have everything. Now think, you're not the only person that's doing that. And then eventually it's like, well, we have to close this store in this community because the people in the community doesn't support it. They were forced to not support it. It's the old switch and bait, right? And people are not thinking. You're not thinking. Because I don't, and then not only that, who would really work in these stores? Like, yeah, you have some older people that work there and they have the higher positions as the, manager and all of that. But who are the people that who would have the jobs there? The cashiers and the, people that bring in the carts and stock. Our children. You 16 and you can get a job. Our children. So it's like, we're going to make sure that these stores are not in the area so that we don't hire their children too. Because think, if you live in the community and the community had everything that you needed and stuff from the restaurants and stores and businesses that are there, especially us, our community would be built up so fast, it'll make your head swim and spin at the same time. It'll be spinning and swimming. Really. And I'm talking about the community that you live in, not the whole Black community rhetoric, right? Oh, the Black community, but we spread out everywhere. I'm talking about where you live and spend your tax dollars. That community, right? Where you're being taxed. That's your community. Right there, where you can go up the street 5 minutes and be at the store, or your children can walk to the store, or your children can enjoy the skating rink to have an outlet outside of, school, and scarcely finding employment because maybe it's a business there or not that they can get a job at. We have to stop handing that to our children. We have to. Solution, I have one. Because our community, Extreme FX Global Academy, we have a youth division. We have a youth division from 8 to 21. And we have 6-year-olds that know how to trade. We have 10-year-olds that know how to trade. We have a 10-year-old that not only is she's trading, but she's building her business. She's 10 at $500 to $1,000 a month. 10. We got older people, elders, elderly people that $1,000 a month in pension or something like that. She's 10, right? My son came over here because I'm a homeschooler. I put my children in the program, right? And, you always have that one child. So that he, within 28 days, he delved into it. He picked it up to the point where now he is teaching. He's teaching me. I'm still trying to figure some stuff out, right? But he's teaching. And he's like, I never knew that I'd like to teach. Like, he said, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher teaching this skill set. Because if we're going to school to get an education in order to earn an income, that's really what it is. Oh, I want to go to be a doctor or a lawyer. They want to go to be a doctor or a lawyer because it has a high income attached to it. And then you sit up there and you talk to doctors and lawyers, and they're ready to get out the field. I talk to doctors and lawyers. We have doctors and lawyers in our community. And it's like, and if and they will say, if it wasn't for learning this skill set of trading, I probably wouldn't keep my practice. Because then when you're not worried about money, then you're actually doing what you're doing out of, this is what I really want to do because I want to help people, right? And it's not, you're doing this so that you can survive and pay your bills. You're really doing this because, hey, I have this naturally to do and I love doing it. And then, okay, and then I'm getting, look, you start looking at that salary as kind of like a side compensation for helping people, but not for your livelihood. That's different. That's different. So I wanted to get on here and share this. It's very important. And it's very important as to why we need to really share this with our community. Because this is a skating rink that, like I said, I used to go to this skating rink. All of us, we used to go to this skating rink. And we're not leaving our children anything right now. And it's sad. And we wonder why they do what they do. We wonder why they are, all these children, all they selling drugs or they own drugs, or, they're not listening. They're not listening to us. They're this or they're that. They are angry. They're angry. Why? Because we as adults are not seeing the writing on the walls, and they're trying to tell us, like, look, first of all, they're trying to lock us up. And they are. There's more funding going into building prisons than there are into education. It's called the School to Prison Pipeline. Do some research. Look it up. That's why many of us are homeschooling, because it's like we've seen the village and we do not want it raising our children. You know that adage, it takes a village to raise a child. We've seen the village and we don't want it to raise our children. We're doing it ourselves. Thank you. So us homeschoolers end up uniting and coming together so that we can raise our children, right? But then after we do that, still, what are we homeschooling, but then still putting them in that same system that we're saying that we don't want to raise them? Mine, I've given a skill set to where my son said it. And let's see, I'm gonna share this right now again. And hold on a sec. Let me grab it. And then I'm going to end this. But this is hope. This is what I would like to see. And this is what our community at Extreme FX Global Academy do this for. It's the reason why we have a youth division, right? When we're talking about legacy, not just, I want to be rich in order to, no, legacy. Our children carry that. But that's with wisdom and knowledge. And teach them how to apply it. We need to hear the hope from them. Now listen to this.
I'm going to bring up my partner for a quick 30 seconds. This young lady, let me go ahead and find her on here. Do a quick testimonial, because you can listen to me all day, but I want you to listen to someone who literally has made thousands upon thousands of dollars every single day. So I'm trying to find Bridget, if you could post this young lady. I do want you guys to understand that, she's done some phenomenal work. I met her a couple months ago, actually, in the program. Well, actually last year, and then she came into our program. Her daughter was in the program as well, 15 years young, and started in January. She was a trader in October. She went gold in our company. That's $2,000 a month in 2 weeks. She is an educator. She teaches Spanish. She lives in Jamaica and St. Martin. Honestly, she is one of the most phenomenal people. She's part of the Jamaica team, the team barrier breakers. And now she really, truly has a serious passion for trading. So I'm going to bring her on just real quick. Miss Nicole Williams, are you out there?
Yes, I am.
Listen, I'm so super proud of you. And I really, truly, have watched you grow into this amazing trader. And then Bridget gave me some news today. And I just wanted you to share with the people just a little bit about what you love about our program. And can you share with them the success that you've had in the last couple of weeks? Really.
Well, I definitely will. Thank you so much, Megan, for the opportunity. I'm very grateful. Good night, everybody. Extreme FX Global Academy is just everything. I'm going to just let you know that right off the bat. Nothing I have achieved today, nothing I've learned, I would have learned if I was not a part of this platform. And it all started when I went to the conference in Atlanta. Yes, I met Megan and she super inspired me. And I was fired up. I came back, I was bored in no time. And you know what I did with that $500 every week? I saved it. I saved it up because I knew I wanted to have a huge saving trading account. And also I must take my hat off to Kingpit because I met him in person and he mentored me for a whole 2 hours and that changed my life significantly. I came back to St. Martin and bam, I made $12,000 in 1 week.
Hold up, wait. Let's just back up. Because I love your accent, but I don't know if that's
I'm going so fast.
You were mentored and you went through our academy and our program and then you came back and you did what?
Yeah, I met Kingpit, Sean Hayes, who's one of our top master traders, in person, and he mentored me. And I came back to St. Martin, and that very next week, I made $12,000 because I knew now what I needed to do. So I went through everything in the system. I went through the videos, I went to the classes. I never missed a class. I was in Cashville, I was in everything, and I was taking all the notes. And guys, I went from making $5 per day profit to $50 per day to $100 per day to $200 per day. And I must tell you, as a high school teacher for over 27 years, I've never made a year's salary in 1 day. And I made that today. I made $42,000 today. And yes, I made it's awesome. And I'm thinking, I love teaching, I really do. But this is just definitely something that is, if you don't experience it, you wouldn't know it for yourself. So I'm just saying this to say, stay connected, because I was passionate about building. But you know what I realized? Persons were failing and giving up on their dreams. But every time I listen to Megan, every time I listen to Bridget Buckner, my top mentor out of Jamaica, I realized that, you know what, Nicole, the tree's going to shake, people are going to quit, but you know why you got in and let your why always guide you. And there's another thing in our old Jamaican proverb that they say, never throw away your stick until you've finished crossing the bridge. And a lot of persons come, oh, no, you can trade, you can go on your own. No, I want to stay in this family. I want to stay in this community because this is where I was made. And this is where I know I'm going to stay to give back to somebody like me who struggled to take care of 3 kids. That now I'm looking at cars that I'm going to get my 21-year-old daughter for her birthday.
I love it. $42,000 today, and you and I connected because I'm a teacher as well. And I was making $50,000 a year before taxes, right? Or after, before taxes. So I don't know how much I was really bringing home. So you and I connected. For you to make $42,000 in a day trading is phenomenal. And I tell people, so thank you so much, Nicole, for adding just value to our community, because our students are becoming the teachers. But you heard her say there's a reason why she's staying in our program, because real traders, they trade in a community. They definitely want to make sure that they're pulling from other people in the community. Real quick, I think I have Ryan out there too. Let me unmute. Ryan is out there. He's one of our traders as well. Ryan, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Ryan, tell the folks how old you are, please.
I'm 17.
17 years young. You were a part of our AP program. I'm super proud of you. You really, truly blow my mind every single time. When I met Nicole, I was blown away by her flying all the way out. And then to meet someone like you as well, Ryan, you're 17. Can you really quickly just tell the folks what you've been doing in our program as a student?
Yeah, sure. So I'm just going to do a full, real quick introduction. My name is Ryan. I'm from Chicago, 17, and in the Young G.U.N.Z AP honor roll. And so far, honestly, this time of my life in Extreme FX has been like the greatest 6 months ever. It's just so many people, so many great people to learn from. But anyway, I've been able to quickly learn the skill set so fast where I've been able to teach the adults how to trade, which is crazy to me because it actually helped me realize another dream I've had of being a teacher. I didn't know I liked to teach so well. So that's one thing that's actually going to change my life, being in this company. And then, of course, the money and skill set from trading. So far, I'm actually at the point where learning a trade is the hardest. At a certain point, it'll get to a point to where you feel like you're stuck. And that's with like anything. The closer you get to it, the harder it is to move closer. So I've been in the company for 6 months, and I'm about to make that breakthrough. I fully expect to be a millionaire by 20. And then you have to think that there's 10-year-olds and 6-year-olds in this company.
I love it. Ryan, you inspire me. And for you to just say that it gets challenging because you're getting ready to cross that threshold. You've made some great money, and your mom is over here. I know your mom had a pretty phenomenal day today. I'm going to have to ask her for a loan. Hadassah had a pretty amazing day. So I just want to say your mom's in here. You're in here at 17 years young. For you to be able to say you can see yourself being a millionaire, not being a rapper, not being a basketball player, but literally being able to learn a skill set that you can pass on to other children and while you're teaching. So Ryan, thank you so much for jumping aboard. We appreciate each and every one of you. I just wanted you guys to hear from people in our community.
So of course I get emotional when I hear that, because I understand our homeschool journey over the past 11, 12 years with little help and lack of support. And I had to go find the support. And I did twice. And so to hear my now 17-year-old, who, when we started homeschooling, he was in the second grade. And to hear him say that, and then watch him and his development and his passion that he has for this. And, I put my children in this program during the pandemic. Shut down and everything. And we were already homeschooling. So we were used to using the computers, laptops, and all of that kind of stuff anyway. But then, my husband's an educator. So now he was home, which changed the dynamic of everything. And so we took a break, but we didn't take a break. We took a break from how we usually homeschooled to like, okay, children, we're taking a break. However, I just signed you all up for this academy, Extreme FX. Log in, right? Here's your login information. You're going to go in there and watch these videos. You're going to go through the personal development tabs. This is your homeschool curriculum until we kind of get things back on track. And in 28 days, because it was February, Extreme FX Global Academy was, officially an academy January 21st to be exact, or 25th. It was between the 21st and the 25th. And a month later, February 26th is when I put them in the program, because I was already like in from the beginning. and I put them in the program on February 26th. And by that next month, or 28 days, I would say, he had delved in, learned everything, was sharing in our group community, and people were asking him questions, and he was giving answers, and all of that, all of that. And he's on the AP honor roll in this academy, Forex, right? Where you're learning about money, learning how first of all, how to get it in that market, and then how to keep it and how to grow it, the psychology of it, the psychology that you need to have as a trader, all of that, right? So that you can, as a people, collectively, that we can form our communities and we can keep our communities, and we can vote certain people in office and get certain people out of office that would do the things that I just read about, that we can, patronize our small businesses, so that, hey, maybe we want our children to learn the skill set where they can get the money out the market, but then because they will really have so much time left within the rest of the day, maybe we want to give them some work ethic to where it's like, hey, Mr. Homer, right? That's in the community, that has this store in the community, is looking to hire help. And so go work in his store, but we can keep his store open because we're buying and frequenting, patronizing his store, and our children can be helping in that store and then getting paid for the time that they're there too. But then they're not looking at that small pay, because here's the thing, Mr. Homer can only pay so much, right? You're in business to make a profit. So Mr. Homer can only pay so much. But it's like, hey, let's go out over there for, the 4 hours or so and help Mr. Homer out in his store with stocking or cleaning or this or that. And then he gives us a paycheck, right? And that paycheck is like pocket change money or something. And then that could be used to do what? Put it in the MetaTrader, put it in the broker account to grow it in the Forex market again. And then what? Buy into some, you almost don't want to do nothing in the stock market, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Maybe you do them in the stock market, pay for their education. When it's time for them to purchase a car, they can purchase a car and not purchase debt. Do you hear what I said? They can purchase a car and not purchase the debt for that car, right? And that's how we stay out of debt and stuff like that, to where, it goes on and on. These things are connected. They are not separate. They're not separate. But listen, we have to know. We have to know and understand money and how it works, especially in the country that we live in. Yes, we live in a capitalistic system. But instead of complaining about it, learn about it so that we know how to operate in it. And in a capitalistic system that revolves around money, learn about money. Learn about money. There's a reason why it's not taught in schools. So why are we getting an education? To get a high-paying job. Keywords: paying. Get an education to get a high-paying job, and then don't know about the money that it is that we got the education for, to get paid. Money isn't the root of all evil. It's a tool. The love of it is the root of all evil. To where you love it so much that you would do things that are not in integrity. That you love it so much that you would kill people. That you love it so much that you would con people. That you would love it so much that you deceive people. That you love it so much that you would pull the rug from up under people. That you would love it so much that you would have people to be homeless. That you love it so much that you would have people out here starving. That you would love it so much that you would not teach them about it. That's what that means. Because the scripture says that money answereth all things. We'll talk about that one. Money answereth all things. It's a tool. Just like if I was building something, I would need a hammer or a screwdriver or whatever in order to build it. Money is a tool to build things. Money is a tool to grow and invest things. That's what it is. That's what it is. So we want to learn about it. We want to learn how it works. And it's not being taught in our school systems. Maybe everything needs an overhaul. The school system definitely needs an overhaul. Because if it's not teaching about money and how it works, so that people know what to do with it, so that their lives could be better, so that we can have doctors, so that we can have lawyers, so that we can have the nurses, and so that we can have these professions, because we do need each other, and we do need skill sets that helps one another. We do need that. But we also need that financial literacy so that we can keep things going and circulating and businesses in operation and entertainment let outs for our children, like a skating rink, to where they could go and have fun and not be angry, to where they want to fight and shoot and kill one another and be on drugs or sell drugs that leads them into the prisons that, again, they're putting more money there than into the schools. And it's probably because they know that what they're teaching doesn't have that much value. Especially when you're automating things now to where, you know, a lot of brick and mortar businesses are downsizing, or they've, you know, outsourced outside of this country. Because that's what the schools are for. The schools are for training employees. But if you're automating things and you don't need that many employees, and then you're trying to save money, then there's two things that you do. On one end, you know, well, shoot, you draw back the funding that you would put into education because you don't need that many people working. Because that's what the education is for, work. And then on the other end, it's we don't have that much money because we want to profit. So we only have so much money that we could pay out, but we still need people working. So we criminalize them by taking the resources, because human nature says that if you hungry, you gonna do what you got to do by any means necessary in order to eat. Period. That's just human nature. So we'll criminalize certain things so that when we take away these resources and means to make money, nature kicks in, where they do something that we've written to say this is criminal behavior, so that they can have a criminal record and then be locked in the prisons and then get free labor. That's not rocket science. That's not rocket science at all whatsoever. That's like, oh, this puzzle piece goes with this. It's not even really a puzzle. It's like one of those, that's like, remember those puzzles, the puzzles that you have, like when you, the beginner puzzle thing, before you get into the intricate ones, the beginner puzzles where it's about 5 to 6 big old pieces. And then they give you that, the little thing that go inside it that has to carve out for the pieces to where you know exactly where to put it. That's what this is. But we have to stop being distracted long enough in order to just put it together. That's all. So I'm done. That is my time. I know that this is long, but it's long enough for people who really, really, really want to know and understand. You know, we use the little short blurbs for other things, but this is a very, very important topic. And so, you know, there are solutions. There are financial solutions, and we're like the one-stop shop for all of them, because there's a system of how it works, right? You need to learn the skill set so that you can fish in a market where it's $8 trillion. And then when you get that, you need to know what to do with it next. If your credit is shot, you need to build it. After you build it, you need to restructure it. After you restructure it, you need to roll into business credit. After you have that and everything built along with that, you need the business funding. And we got the whole gamut. And we're teaching our children right alongside of us so they know it as well, because again, we got to leave an inheritance to our children's children. That's 2 generations after us. That's our grandchildren. How will you leave a legacy and not just things? So with that, that's my time. Reach, as a matter of fact, let me put this in the comments, because you see it scrolling right there. But I'm also going to put this in the comments. So join us to help your, we like to call it common unity, because that is what a community is, right? We have a common goal and we have to unite in order to execute it, right? So join us to help your common unity. Right at Extreme FX Global Academy. Right, we teach you how to earn in the Forex market. So what you want to do is go to www or https / Coach Hadassah. Yes, I am a certified emotional wellness coach and wellness entrepreneur. And of course, what I found on my coaching journey with building my wellness business is that the people who I was servicing with their health issues, the reason why they were having health issues was because they were stressed. Stress lowers the immune system. When the immune system is lowered, you're open to all sickness, illness, and disease. And so they were stressed and open to all of these things because of money. Work. Work and money is related. You go to work in order to make money. You make money, the money not enough. You think you got enough, and next thing you know, you don't. Well, why is that? Because inflation, right? You're making $180,000, $85,000 a year, but you don't have your time. You don't have the time to spend with your children. So now your children mad. I mean, it's just like, right? And so then the stuff is getting on your nerves. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to be doing good because I'm making $185,000 a year, but now I'm taxed out the wazoo. I don't have any tax breaks or tax deductions, or, the children as tax deductions is not enough. And not understanding you in a middle class income tax bracket. If you're not making, again, like I started with, $450,000 or more, and I say $500,000 annually or more, and without tax deductions, in a business, preferably a home-based business, is gives you the best breaks, because at that point, everything that you do inside your house or outside is tax deductible when you do it right, documented and everything. But we teach you all of that here. We teach you all of that here. We have a tax specialist, right? Not just tax professional. No, a tax specialist that specializes in home-based business taxes. A lot of tax professionals do not know and understand about home-based business taxes. Our tax professional does. Our tax specialist does. Okay, so I'm out. That's my time. It's about time for me to go walking now. I've been up since 2:00 this morning. But again, I went to bed early enough this time because I could this particular time. So you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you out here in these social media internet streets. All right. So you guys take care. Peace.